Imagine being a child who has been torn away from their security blanket, their parents, the ones who stop the boogeyman from terrorizing the nights and curing their boo-boos when they scrape their knees. Now just imagine how they must feel when the CPS meant to protect them tears them away from their supposed abusers and places them with strangers who have zero comforting skills. They need to be calm. They are confused, lost, panicked, and needing their parents, but CPS took them away for the purpose of saving them. The kids don't even know why, and they are told that the parents they attach to no longer want them. What do you think that does? Do you think that this is how protecting children is supposed to look? Abolish CPS.
Psalm 127:3. Children are a heritage from the Lord, offspring a reward from Him. This suggests children are a precious gift from God to be valued and cared for.
In the United States, a child a minute is taken into DHS, CPS, and so on custody. The reality is their picks are already selected, you just don't know it. Being perfect no longer matters. It's what the adopting families are looking for.
Who is it stealing the children, you ask?
From caseworker to the White House, the buck stops at all levels, just not where it is supposed to be. The services your family needs, we the people have paid for to ensure your reunification. Title IV says, reunify at all costs. United, we stand means nothing to us when it comes to family values. Children are being ripped away from their families. Parents are reverting to addictive behaviors to cover the pain. The trauma caused by child removal is just being recognized, and the results are atrocious. Termination of parental rights is not healthy for anyone, just profitable for the people enforcing the lie.
It's time Washington listens to the cries of our children, the wails of their mothers, and the rage growing in the fathers. These are our children. Keep your damn hands off them. We are coming to act on the behalf of the children God gave us to protect, and you kidnapped.
Childhood, growing and developing years of a person. This is meant to be a highly important time to create morals, fundamentals, and skills necessary to be a success. Instead, the trauma CPS creates in these young minds set a path of disaster, and statistics prove it. In nearly 90% of their cases, the trauma is unnecessary. Time is the one thing that can never be given back. CPS takes away moments in life that can't be replaced. The time just keeps going, doesn't mean a thing anymore. They left as children, and it's up to them when they come home if they know who you are. Each second away is time you will never get back and keep getting older.
Studies are leading towards incarceration.
Now comes the honorable judge in the halls of justice, where the Constitution will hold strong and your rights to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness will trample CPS for all they have done to your child.
The truth and corruption that's revealed to you is enough to make you sick. This is not America we were sold.
Children are being taken from families at the rate of one a minute. It needs to be stopped.
It's time to wake up and abolish CPS. In the United States, CPS makes upwards of $3 billion per day on trafficking and selling our children. The corruption may start with the caseworker, but goes through the judicial system, passing the governor through the Senate and into the White House. The entire system has a hand in the business known as CPS.
Our children are stolen every minute of a 24-hour day. They are being robbed of their innocence, their trust, their happiness. As parents, we are isolated and betrayed by a government we trust. States are balancing budgets on kids' lives. Only 12% of the kids taken will be reunified. Title IV funding is being riveted with fraud.
We need to stop CPS and abolish CPS.com is leading the way. Join us.
Okay, I think I'm figuring this out, but I don't know what this big spot is next to me. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to CPS. Maybe I switch this over here. All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to CPS Victims Hunting Justice. I am your host, the CPS Punisher. This is Tuesday night. We got law enforcement night tonight, guys. We welcome back our good friends Jeff Glaser and the Michigan crew. We're going to talk to them about it, but Jeff's got a huge surprise. You guys are not going to want to miss this. You're not going to want to. You're not going to believe what he's got to tell us. Not only are things going well for him on the Michigan call, but he may or may not have his child. Man, this man is fought from the bottom up. He's fought from the bottom up, and he's done it. He has seeked and hunted his justice. Don't forget to like and share, guys. Like, share, tell people about it. Do what you got to do. Please get some more people watching this show. Guys, the more people that watch this show, the more people that are viewing, the more people that are educated, the more people that are saving their kids. You might not think that this is important, but it is important when CPS knocks on your door and you got that stupid look on your face because you don't know what you're doing. We're here to teach you all what to do, and we're also here to teach you how to win. That being said, I'm going to bring everybody out. Now, I apologize as Restream, our company that we use, threw us into this new format tonight, which is why we were behind. That's the excuse for tonight anyway. And I'm trying to figure it out. Like right now I have this the video next to me and I don't know what to do with that. Let me see if I do this though. Maybe if I do this. All right, here I am. I'm on a new scene. That's great. Looks like we're going to do it. I'm going to bring out Melissa. I'm going to bring out Herbert here. All right, guys, I'm figuring it out as we're going here. How we doing, guys?
Good, how are you?
I'm all right. Herbert, how you feeling after the dog walk?
Oh, I'm pretty good. Thank you.
You didn't get no animals gone wild on you tonight, right? No pit bull attacks.
No, I'm getting ready to go out now. I was waiting for your show to start.
Oh, all right. So Herbert, tonight's law enforcement night, right?
Yep.
Yep, it sure is. And tonight, my friend, we got our man John here, but we're going to throw up the Herbert, police procedure expert. But we got Mr. Archdale with us, and we also got Mr. Glasser with us out here backstage. We're waiting for a couple more people. I'm going to bring them up, and Herbert, we'll let you get your jive on with them. John, hopefully John got his microphone fixed here. John, can you talk yet?
Hey.
All right, we got you. Perfect. John,
You got me?
Yeah, we're here. We got you.
Good.
All right. Jeff, how we doing, guys? Here, we're in. All right, we got me. We don't have Jeff. Why did I not get Jeff? I'm sorry. Let me see here. Jeff, where are you?
I'm here.
All right, there's Jeff. All right, Jeff, how we doing? How we doing, guys? Jeff, why don't you tell everybody the good news, first of all?
Now, uh, 6, my daughter came back home.
That's right. That's right. Hear that, Herbert?
His daughter came back home.
Yes, sir. He's got his daughter back. Now, she back in
On,
the time?
Congratulations.
on August the 15th, we go to court, and then the judge makes it done. Then they're out of my ass.
Man, that's got to feel good. That comes right up around your, what a gift, too, because doesn't that come right around your primary, right? What do you, August the 6th is your primary?
Yeah, August the 6th is the primary.
Right. So that could be a great week for you, man. You could be getting into the sheriff's spot and you get your daughter signed in to be home.
Well, if these whoever it is, I can't say who it is because I don't know for a fact. But somebody keeps stealing all my signs. I'll go put a sign up, and mine are all handmade because I live on Social Security disability, and I don't have the money, to pay $5 a sign plus $1.50 for the stand. So I got people that'll give me some plywood, and I'll take and paint it up and put legs on it and go plant it in the ground, and then somebody comes along and steals it.
Oh, that's just a credit to your sign building, Jeff. That's all that is.
But my signs stand out. My signs stand out a lot more than the rest of them.
They sure do. I'm fixing to put one up here in a second. I'm gonna pull it up for you.
Where do you put your sign at, John?
I I put them all over. I had like 20 flyers all around downtown, and like 15 of them are completely gone.
Okay. You ever put any in front of your dwelling, in front of your
Yeah,
house?
I got one in front of my house. The
Has
ones
that been
that people let
taken?
me put in front of their house, those ones seem to stay. But like
Oh,
put them out by the school, they disappear. I
yeah,
put
people
it by the
take them. Yeah,
grocery store, it disappears.
yeah. That's your,
Who's
that's
running? Who's running against you?
your
It's the
competition.
undersheriff and this other idiot.
Somebody that's friends of theirs is probably the one doing it.
Yeah, that's what I
Well,
think.
I think it's the person that's running for the county commissioner, actually.
It's that hot down there, huh? They want to steal your keys?
But the guy that's running for county commissioner about 3 months ago, he said, "I'm going to see to it that you do not win." But he fired a good old buddy, good old boys club. So they don't want the change. But I
Right.
really don't care what they want.
Right. Well, because you're coming in and you're bringing in you're coming in hot off the press right now. You beat these assholes, these conspiracy guys, you beat their ass, man. And they don't like that. And you're going to come in and you're going to hold these guys accountable for what they're doing. I mean, that's just it. You're going to hold them accountable, and they don't want to deal with that, man. They don't want that to happen because their way of life is, they're going to take the money from the people in the city. They're living their cost.
It's just like Trump right now. I mean, how many people don't want to see him succeed?
Exactly.
How many?
Yep.
Okay. They're going to do everything in their power to make sure he don't get nothing.
Yeah, except for the difference is everybody keeps Trump's signs. They need to keep them up there until he wins the election. I know everybody wants to have a piece of it in their room and because this stuff's cool, but man, let it get through the election time. Same thing with Jeff's stuff. Let Jeff's stuff sit there until the election's over with, people. Stop taking signs.
I'm afraid they're going to steal the doors off my Jeep because I painted my doors on my Jeep too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's just me being a smart ass in a sense. I really don't believe that they would, but I don't put it past them.
Right. You never know what people are capable of doing, man. You never freaking know. You really don't. What's going on up there, Jeff? What do you got? What do you got going on? What do you need? What are you doing? What's happening? What we haven't talked to you in a minute.
Well, it'd be nice if I could get some donations,
Yeah, we know.
and then maybe I could buy some cards or flyers and maybe some signs. But man, they're just so expensive. You can get them down to like $3 a piece, but hell, then you're buying 2,500 signs, and that's a whole lot of money at $3 a piece, and then $1.50 for the metal piece, that you stick the sign on and stick it in the ground. That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
I would love to beat them without spending much money.
Right, that's the whole idea. You're not fortunate enough to be Trump and spend your own money on this stuff. Guys, look, this is Jeff's sign right here. See this, guys? This is what Jeff's up there doing, guys. If we can help him with some donations, you can send that to our Fundly account, or email me or message me at abolishcps.com@gmail.com, and we'll get Jeff the donations that you guys send. So if any of you out there can help this man, please do so. Jeff, what has to be on the donations? I know that there's a standard.
Has to be a name. Their name's got to be there, and it cannot be from a corporation.
Okay.
It has to be from a person. I guess it could be from a business if the business is not incorporated.
Right, a sole proprietor, right?
Yeah.
It can't be right. It can't be an incorporated business, right? It can't even be an LLC. It has to be it. Now, if I as a person want to donate to you, for an example, I own a company, but if I donate to you in my own name, it's got nothing to do with the business.
Exactly.
It's just the check has to be in my own name. It cannot be in the company name.
It has to be a personal check.
Right.
Jeff, do you have an address for people to send you a check?
Yeah.
All right, let's get that up. I'll put it up there, but let me read it up here right now.
Well, it's on my flyers that I sent you through here also. My address and my phone number are both on there, but my address is 213 South O'Keefe. That's Okeefe Street, Cassopolis. That's Cassopolis, Michigan 49031.
Where is that near?
I'm about 20 minutes from Notre Dame, north of Notre Dame.
Okay. How close are you to Hastings, Michigan?
I'm about an hour.
There is a meeting going on Thursday at the little building behind a little coffee shop that is across the street from the courthouse.
This sounds very secretive.
No, it's been going on. No. It's they are right up Jeff's alley. They would produce. They've got more people. They've got 3 or 4 other sheriffs already in their back pocket. The same as what you want to do, Jeff.
No, I don't want to be in nobody's back pocket.
No, I'm not saying about, no, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not talking about being in anybody's back pocket. What I'm talking about is they would help you even in your area, because they're going around county to county to get the sheriffs involved in what their constitutional rights are. And right now what I'm saying is they've convinced 3 or 4 county sheriffs to conform to their proposal. And their proposal is exactly what you want to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's this group called, John?
I have no idea what the group. I have no idea what the group is called, but my understanding it's a convention of states. Only they're doing it by the county.
Oh, okay.
Jeff, I'll find out tonight. I'll find out tonight what it is, or first thing in the morning, and I'll call you.
Okay.
Because I think, personally speaking, if you were to contact them, there's where a lot of your donation could come from, right here from the state of Michigan, because what I mean by having 2 or 3 other sheriffs in their back pocket is they have the 3 sheriffs going along with like their thinking, if you understand my drift, just like you're wanting to do. Same thing.
Yeah.
Okay? Those sheriffs will put the word out in your area to help you get elected. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, see, this undersheriff, he's got backing from the whole corrupt system.
Well,
So
it don't make a difference in that.
He's got like 3,000 signs out everywhere.
Oh, sure.
You know?
Because he's got money somewhere, or he's got donations coming in somewhere.
Hey, Darren.
Yes, sir.
Now, I sent you a copy of the ballot.
Yes, sir. Let me pull that up for you.
Now, I don't fully understand why they didn't want me, because I put it on the internet.
Yeah.
And then they started contacting me saying, you got to take that down. I'm like, well, why? Can you give me a reason? It's public. These are people running for public. Why can't people see my name at the top?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's just something you just don't do. I'm like, well, it's something that maybe somebody else doesn't do, but I'm damn proud to have my name on that ballot running for sheriff. And so I'm showing it to people, but they made me take it down, but I sent it to you. So now it's
why did you have to take it down? Why?
I don't know.
What did they tell you they were going to do if you didn't take it down?
They didn't say they were going to do anything if I didn't.
Then why not? Then why take it down?
But they said, you have to take it down. I'm like, well, give me a reason why it's wrong for doing it, because people just don't do that. I said, well, I'm not normal people.
Okay. Number one, you're conforming to what they want you to do.
Right.
Well,
that's a wrong message to send, Jeff.
Yeah, I took it down, but I sent it out so it can go right back up.
There it is.
This is in a complete different place. So.
There's the ballot.
Yep, and that green dot is my name, and I'm #1 on there.
That's right.
I'd put it back up. There ain't nothing wrong with it as long as you are not violating any state law, federal law, election law, or anything like that. There's no reason you can't put it on the internet.
See, that's just, I don't know if I am violating something or close to violating. So I went ahead and complied and took it down from The place, I'm sure there's a place or two I forgot. It's got to still be out there somewhere. Well, I mean, once it goes in the internet, it never goes away anyhow. Somebody else takes
No,
a picture of it, and it's out there forever and ever and ever.
You just said we
yeah,
got it saved to us, so we got it, Jeff.
but that is one avenue that you need to research right now. Is it a violation of election law for you to have it on the internet?
They said it's for me to check my name placing and how my name is spelled to make sure it's okay. When it's all, I filled out the piece of paper saying yes, everything's okay, and I took it back in there. And then they say, you got to take that down. I'm like, why? Well, people just don't do that. I said, well, I'm not a normal person. They say it's like, you don't go in and take a picture of the ballot when you're filling it out. I'm like, yes, I did. 2 years ago, my name was on that ballot. I said, now granted, 2 years ago, I didn't take a picture of it and put it on the internet, but I did take a picture of me signing my name on my ballot. Well, you ain't supposed to do that. Tell me why. Just because it's not right. You ain't supposed to. They don't make no sense.
Okay, now Kerry just
I
put
can't.
something
There's
up
not
that
enough light
says
in there. It's why I always go in
Kerry,
Pelican.
Kerry just put something up that says might be to prevent voter fraud by duplicating the ballot. I would go along with that statement, except it's special paper that they print the ballot on, and you cannot duplicate it because the paper is not big enough. Even on a federal sheet, it's not big enough to handle the ballot. The ballot is not on 8.5 by 11, nor is it on 8.5 by 14. It's a mixed match shape. So nobody out here can duplicate that exact piece of paper.
Well, I'm sure somebody can duplicate anything.
Well,
But
no, because you got a voting machine that you've got to put it into.
yeah, and you got to get it from them right there.
Exactly. And it has to have the old feed to it. You can't the old finger feed. You know what I'm talking about, Darren. The old finger feed.
Yes, sir.
You know? Like the old computer paper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with the
years
little hole
ago.
inside. Yeah, the hole inside.
And that is how the voting machines operate.
Mm-hmm.
It won't go through the machine. Besides, how are they going to duplicate the paper to pick up the magnetic field that's on the ballot?
Yeah, I don't know how these things. I'm looking it up right now. Seeing what.
But that's what I'm saying. There's too many things that would say, no, they're full of shit. Sorry to say that, but that's probably the best thing that you can say is that they're not going to give you an answer because there is no answer.
Well, that's the way I seen it.
If they were to say, okay, Mr. Glasser, we have under Michigan law, blah 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 blah, you know, or under
That
one of
should
the
be an answer.
statutes. Oh, now that's a different ballgame. Now, yes, you are violating a law. Okay, understood. I'll take it down. Not a problem. Sorry, I didn't understand. No big deal. Okay? But if they can't answer it, I'd buck that system every day of the week.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, John. Herbert, what do you think about all this? He must be getting attacked by another pit bull. You know that a couple weeks ago on the show, Herbert got taken out by a, I don't know, it was a bull mastiff or something, right? I believe. Melissa, Herbert, what was the dog that Herbert got mauled by?
How did he get attacked by a dog?
He was walking his dog. And then he got the dog come after him, and he swooped up his puppy.
He'll be back in a minute. We can hold that question, Darren.
I tell you, here's how stupid Michigan is. About 30 years ago, my stepson was out playing, and he got a what's that called? Anyhow, he's not he's not stupid, but he's not like he's high functioning, but kind of
autistic.
Autistic, that's the word.
There we go.
And this big old German Shepherd that was 2 blocks away heard him because he always talked real loud, and it started running. And I was just on the other side of the fence at the neighbor, so I jumped the fence, ran into my backyard, and just as I grabbed him, I put him behind me, and that dog was right there ready to bite. So I backed the boy into the house, went upstairs, got my pistol, come back down, and I called the police. I'm like, you better get here and do something with this dog, because I'm gonna put some lead in it.
Oh boy.
Darren, you got to bring Herbert in. I'm sorry, Jeff. Herbert's waiting for you to bring him in.
He's here. He's ready. You know what's funny tonight, and Melissa will attest for this. I was coming back.
I'm here.
Herbert, there you go. Herbert, let's get you in on this, buddy. What's going on?
I'm sorry, Jeff. I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize.
That's all right.
Herbert, we were just talking about the dog maul.
Yeah, I've been listening to everything. I was responding. I was responding to you and everything. So I don't know what happened to me.
Oh, that's them.
I'm standing right here talking, and nobody can hear me.
Well, we hear you now, buddy.
Must have been some nice thoughts, Herbert.
What do we got going on with that dog?
No, I'm standing right here in my living room.
No, I know, but what about the dog?
Yeah, I got my insurance company is gonna. I'm telling you right now, my insurance company is gonna go after the owners of the house because they don't believe that the owners have insurance to have that type of dog at the house.
Huh?
That's one of those dogs that fall under the list that you're not allowed to have. So they can have their insurance drop, or they have to get rid of the dog.
I see. All right. Now, what would happen? Let me ask you this. Now, in a CPS case, right? What would happen if your dog attacked the child in the home? What would CPS do in that case?
If the dog attacked the child in the home, oh boy, CPS would probably come in and demand that you get rid of the dog because the dog is a danger to the child.
And then
I would hope they'll give you.
And then they would be taking.
I would hope they'll give you a one-time.
Right, but they would. Be
I'm saying I hope they'll give you a one-time chance.
Whose dog is it? Is it your dog?
No, his dog was.
No, Darren asked what would happen if that was a situation. In
CPS.
Okay, in my situation, I was walking my dog, and a pit bull came after me and my dog. The pit bull did not bite either one of us, but I got scarred up on the ground because I fell. Now, Darren asked the question, what happens if that was a dog that was inside somebody's house that was vicious like that? And I'm saying, I'm sure that CPS will be called. And hopefully they would give the homeowner a chance to get rid of the dog. If not, they would consider that child being in danger and take that child out of the house.
Yeah, I can say that's not factual because my
That's what I
son
think
was
will
bit in
happen.
the house in CPS care. My son was
Does
bit
that sound
in the
right, Darren?
foster home house.
Melissa?
Can you hear me, Herbert?
Go ahead, Melissa. Go ahead, Melissa.
But you remember, Melissa, yes, I hear you. But Melissa, remember, there's a difference between the foster home and the house. When it happens at the house, they want to take the kid. In foster care, they don't do anything.
Hey, can you hear me, Herbert?
Somebody just put a thing up that says foster care providers. Yeah, he can hear you, Melissa. Somebody
Okay,
just put a
so
thing up that says,
my kid, while in care, was bit in the face by a dog, and you know what CPS says? Oh well, tough shit.
yeah, I was just going to say the thing is, no, they do not have immunity. I am in a case right now with foster care people. They do not have immunity.
Well, they do.
No, they
It
don't.
might be an unspoken immunity, but
No,
when
they
my
don't. No, they
daughter
don't.
got
Because
beat over the head,
wait a
when
minute,
my daughter
I'm
got,
suing CPS right now. I am in the middle of a conspiracy suit and a constitutional rights suit.
They don't have
Right
immunity.
here in
I agree, they don't
Alabama.
have immunity, but they don't do anything
No, you have to sue
in a
them
foster
in
care
their
situation.
individual capacity.
No, she's saying
But
it's
you
in
have something like that
Ohio.
happening.
She's saying that is in Ohio.
It don't matter
And
what state they're in. They don't have any. The company
not
itself has immunity. The
not
workers do
in
not.
federal court. I don't give a damn what
John,
anybody says.
John, John. Instead of screaming over me, listen to what I'm saying. As a corporation, the corporation has, quote, argued immunity, but the workers do not. And the corporation pays for the workers' wrongdoing. Because I have a 1983 against 4 workers and a guardian ad litem. I've got a 1985 suit against 4 workers and a guardian ad litem.
guardian ad litem has immunity.
No, they
No, they
don't.
don't.
Yeah,
No,
they
Not
they
do.
do
from
not.
conspiracy. No, they don't.
Maybe not on conspiracy, but they do have immunity.
No,
No,
they
they
do
don't.
not.
And the caseworkers
Not
do have immunity. When they
okay.
violate the Constitution, that's when you can definitely get them.
No, understand
Every
one
single
thing.
policy of the department is a violation of due process. Everything the department stands for is a substantive and procedural due process violation. They do not have immunity against that. That is all covered under the 1983. And if you have a case where you can prove that they conspired to steal your kid, and you can prove it beyond even partial reasonable doubt, you have the right to go after them for conspiracy, which is a 42 USC 1985. And we are doing
Now,
both in my case. And that is a nationwide thing because we are doing it for families all over the country.
okay. Purple Prose is on here going bananas, but she said that she's saying that they have immunity in Ohio on the state law, on the state side. Well, that's true. They may have on the state court.
No, I can even contradict that, John, because you have the right to what's called a constitutional challenge. And the right to, so when you want to get your constitution brought into your state side and you want to do it like a trial, okay? I've been working with 4 attorneys to get to figure out how we can do the equivocal of a state suit, of a federal suit at a state level. You have to file a constitutional challenge with a declaratory judgment. Because that declaratory judgment, when the higher court rules that the department has broken your constitutional right. The relief you get from it is they return your children.
Return to sender.
I'm getting ready. I'm
without
getting ready to do a constitutional challenge for several families in Maine. We're doing them for several families in Tennessee, and I'm doing them for the someone in Ohio.
But if
Okay,
you cannot
all you
prove,
got to do is look up the procedures for a constitutional challenge with declaratory judgment. And that what it does is it takes your case out of the it don't take the whole case. It takes the lawsuit part of it, which is that constitutional challenge. It takes it out of the jackass judge's courtroom and it puts it into a circuit courtroom at your capital involving your state attorney general's office. And it takes the arguments of whether someone was doing drugs, beating their kids, all of that. It takes all of that away and it makes it a constitutional argument. And if you win your constitutional argument, it's the same as a constitutional argument in a federal court, except for
right?
instead of getting money, you get your damn kids.
Oh, that's what we're talking about.
But if you can't prove that they violated the Constitution,
But you can,
they
Jeff.
have immunity.
Everything they do, every
Everything
bit
they
of their
do is
policy.
against it. Yes, I understand that. But if you ain't got the paperwork and the
But
means of
you
proving,
don't. Here's the thing: you don't need the paperwork, okay? Because your case has already been fought 100 times over in the federal courts, okay? And when you argue the Constitution, you get to use all that federal case law. Because what you do is you prepare a brief, just like doing an appeal. And that brief is what you file for your constitutional challenge. That case is already won in all the previous cases that you quote in your case law. This is not a get in there, go toe to toe, and go screaming at the AG's office. This is one, just like an appellate thing. And this is based solely on constitutional argument. And over and above that, this is what you have to do to use your constitution in your appeal when you get TPR'd.
well, some other thing I can tell you. Just before the judge ordered my daughter to come home on the 6th, my attorney called me and he's like, I got some good news, which he was telling me that Tina had filled out this thing, saying that my daughter was to come home, and all the judge had to do is agree. And then he goes, and I got some more good news. I said, oh yeah, what's that? He goes, that attorney I've been telling you about for the last year, he goes, I finally had a chance to talk to him, and he wants to take and sue him in federal court.
Oh, nice.
He goes, so there's a couple more things I got to get sent to him. He goes, but after your daughter is completely home, he wants to get together with you, and he wants to sue him. So that's a good thing. But these people do have immunity. You can Google it, and it'll point blank tell you a GL has almost as much immunity as the judge.
Well, I'll tell you what, for a woman immune, she went running out of the judge's courtroom, bawling like a little bitch, saying that she didn't like the fact that she was being sued.
Well, no, yeah, they don't like that. They don't like that. The constitutional.
Not only can you sue an attorney for malpractice, you can sue them for constitutional arguments. You can sue them for anything. Anyone has the right to sue anyone for anything. It's just a matter of whether it stands at the end or not. And as far as it goes, with the one question that just came, the one statement that just came up that says the appellate court can only go by the record. Yes, that's why when you do the constitutional challenge, it is added into your record. So all of that record gets to go up to the Court of Appeal. You do a constitutional challenge, you get to make your constitutional argument.
Here's the problem with all that, though. If you're not an actual really good attorney, you ain't getting no damn place. Because when I sent my stuff to the Supreme Court of the United States, I sent the paperwork for the Michigan Attorney General, which plainly stated that this man never had a license. And if you wanted, Darren, you can go ahead and pop that one thing up that I sent you, where the man is accepting responsibility for deceiving people.
Yep.
That all went to the Supreme Court.
Okay.
And they chose not to do anything with it. And the man, it was proven the man never had a license to be a therapist, nor a doctor, nor a caseworker. Or yeah. So it really doesn't matter what you send to any of these courts. They're all corrupt. They don't want to do their job. They want you to do it. And if you're not a really damn good attorney, you're dismissed.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not an attorney at all, and you know what? I've been getting kids home. I've been getting kids home in multiple states, and I'm not an attorney at all. I just pay really good attention, and I have friends that are attorneys, and we run different ideas through to figure out how to get a leg to stand on. Because the trial court is corrupt. Those judges are the most corrupt there is.
And what
we have figured out how to do is do the equivocal of a federal suit at a state level, so that we take it out of that paid judge's courtroom and we put it somewhere where someone has a fair chance.
Here's the way I look at it. You can get 100 kids sent home. And that's a good thing. But you're not doing nothing to the prosecutors and the judges and the GLs and these caseworkers that are breaking the law. If you are not getting indictments and sending these people to prison, this shit ain't never going to stop. It's going to continue and continue and continue.
Right.
If you can't put these people in prison, a couple of them a year, it's never going to stop, because they got their immunity and they're not scared. They blatantly violate every law they can violate because they got a badge, they got a robe, they got a gun, and they're going to do whatever the hell they feel like. We have to start getting these people indicted and sent to prison. Not just take them off a bench for a month. Not just take their license from them for a month. No, they got to go to prison. How do we do that? Now, my way of thinking is, if I get elected, and I'm still positive I will, but when I deputize, I want to deputize some good ex-officers. I do not want them being certified by the state. That way the state does not own them. Then they can write up the report and take it up to the Michigan Attorney General and see about getting these people indicted. Right. With the evidence that they have, that they can prove, indict these judges, these prosecutors, these GLs, these caseworkers. Then I think you can make a difference. Yeah, if you can get 100 kids home, that's super great, especially for them kids. But until we can stop these criminals and make these people scared and make them follow the law, it's just going to continue and continue and continue.
So how do you make them follow the law?
I think if you can, when you can actually show that they have violated the law, violated our constitutional rights, kidnapped our children, held them for hostage because they're getting paid by the state, so there should be RICO charges brought in on these people. And and you get them indicted and in prison. But I don't know how to do it.
If you're talking to the United States right now. You're talking to all the viewers. What can you tell them to do?
The only thing I can tell them is start. Now it's too late.
Right.
But in 2 more years, get your name on the ballot for something. Even if it's just running for a school board or running to be a delegate. We have to start getting in with the lawmakers to change the laws. We have to start taking back what's ours. That's why I'm running for sheriff. Now, granted, I fully understand that the undersheriff has the whole weight of the corrupt system behind him. He's got more signs around Cass County than I see in any other counties. And all I got is like 10 handmade ones. Do I have a chance in hell? If God truly sent me on this path like I believe, nobody has a chance in hell but me. But if I'm off, then he'll win, and I'll probably have to sell my house and take my daughter someplace else. Because
Are you going out and speaking to the people? Are you going into centers or big groups of people and talking?
Yeah. On the 26th, I'm invited to the yacht club to talk to a bunch of people. On the 27th, I'm invited to a church to talk to a bunch of people. I talk to people wherever I find them. The ones who are really sorry asses is when they're walking down my street. They get stopped every single day. I will talk their ears off.
But those are the onesie twosie people. I'm talking about large groups, like hundreds of people.
I haven't got to talk to hundreds of people at one time, but I have talked to probably at least 20,000 people. Here.
Okay, let me ask you something. Just out of curiosity, what's the biggest church in your county with the most parishioners on a Sunday morning? Do you know?
No.
Why not?
I don't. I just don't.
Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. You want to get before a bunch of people. You talk to the pastor and say, look, after you give the sermon on Sunday, I'd like to have 10 minutes.
Yep.
And you know what they tell me? I've asked probably 10 of them. I've asked probably 10 of them. And I get told, look, there's a separation of church and state. You're running for a state thing. I don't want you.
That's fine. I understand.
But at this other church, I got a phone call from them asking me to come.
Right.
So that's the difference.
No.
When I go ask them, they tell me, no, separation of church and state. We're not getting it.
Now let me go back. Let me let you in on a small secret. The world is looking, correct? The world is looking. We have leaders from all the workers at all these summits, right? All over the world, the leaders come together. Who do they all look to at the summit who's not at the summit?
Nobody. If a person not at the summit, they can't look at them.
No, that's not true.
Who are they looking at then?
There's one person that the whole group will talk to as a group in a private, non-newsworthy thing, the press is not invited to this phone call. Who is that person?
That's not invited to this phone call.
You
tell us.
It is not a known fact.
You tell us. Who is it?
Now, Jeff mentioned something here. There's a separation between church and state. I agree with that, 100%. But all of the world's leaders, off the record, make a phone call, and that phone call is directed at every stinking one of them. Not just one-on-one, it's to all of them as a group, who has basically more power than all of those ones at the G7, G8, G10, whatever you want to call it, summit. Now, who is that person?
Tell us.
The Pope.
Ooh, Lord.
Oh, man. Wow. I wasn't thinking about the
Pope.
Pope.
Ain't gonna take my phone call.
Now, answer a question. You told me that, and you said it right here. You said there is a separation of church and state. I agree with that. I agree with that sentiment, okay? I agree with it. However, how come it is at every G summit that is held by the world's leaders, off the record, they contact the Pope? Why?
Because of his influence?
No.
They want them to put a good word in with God.
No.
Okay, tell us. We give up.
It's called money.
Money.
The Pope
Money
can
from the Pope.
control. The Pope can control the world's money.
So the Pope can help Jeff get elected?
The Pope has his hands on the world's money.
Right.
So how will the Pope get Jeff elected?
How does he get? He gets elected
Jeff.
by the cardinals of the church, but the Catholic
No,
Church.
not the Pope. How does the Pope get Jeff elected?
It's not.
The sheriff.
Okay, now wait a minute. Now what I'm telling you is this. Jeff said there's got to be a separation of church and state.
No, I said that's what the preachers all tell.
I just gave him the in. When a pastor says there's got to be a separation between church and state, well, okay, then how come this happens? Then how come this is going on? Answer that question. Answer that question.
What should Jeff do? What should Jeff do?
When you have a preacher that says that, your answer is going to be what I just told you. Now, how is that separation of church and state? Nobody knows that that's happening,
because
but that is very true.
The Pope is in Rome, and we're in the United States, so there's a separation of church and state in the United States. But you're talking countries. There's not no separation of church and country. Here, it's separation of church and state.
Right.
It don't make a difference what you're saying. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Why is a country calling the Pope? Why? Because
the Pope will answer that country's phone call. The Pope ain't gonna answer my phone call.
Have you ever tried?
No, I
There
really
you go.
haven't. But I've tried like hell to call the president,
Well,
and
do you think that the
and
Pope?
none of them answer me.
All right. Do you think that the Pope can help the situation out with CPS, with CPS issues?
I think the Pope is in it. Why you think there's so many Catholics that's been molested by Catholic preachers or cardinals or whatever the heck them Catholic people are called? They're in on it.
So the
The
Pope and
church, the
and
church
yeah.
is the church is involved. The Catholic Church is involved up to their eyeballs in human trafficking, in pedophilia. They are involved in so much shit it isn't funny. Most churches, I don't care if it's Baptist, Methodist, Lutheran, I don't care what it is, they're all involved.
Yep. I agree with you.
They're
I agree
all
with
Not
you.
with my
involved.
comments. That's for sure.
Every church is involved in it. But the Pope, it's a well known fact that the Pope has his pulse on IMF. What's IMF?
What's IMF?
Have no clue.
What is IMF?
What is it? I think it's International Money Fund. It's the World Bank.
Yep.
The Pope is right here on the World Bank. So if he says to Germany, we're yanking all of our money and our church is out of Germany, Germany says, oh, okay, that's good. Go ahead. Do you realize that it could be billions and billions of dollars that he's taken away?
Well, here's the bigger question: what happens if the money's not? What if that money is not?
And
right
that's
or,
exactly the way. That's exactly what the Pope is holding over everybody out here. That's why they will kiss his hind end to make sure they don't lose the money that the Catholic Church brings in. And they don't want to lose favor with the Catholic Church.
No, sir, they do
now, with the Catholic Church, you've got the Methodists, the Lutherans, they all follow the Catholic terminology, right down to the Baptists. Most every church has a hierarchy on down. I don't care what it is, who it is, secretive, non-secretive, it don't make a difference. Structured, non-structured, 501(c), 508, it don't make a difference what it is. They all have a hierarchy on down. Somebody in the Catholic Church did not like what was going on with the popes and everybody else. So they decided, we're going to start our own church. And that's how the Methodists became. Somebody off of that church said, we're going to start this up and we're going to do that. Somebody did it, called it the Baptists. How many groups of Baptist churches are there? How many? Free Will, Freedom Baptist, how many more? How many do you need? Just because you go to a Baptist church and it's part of the Southern Baptist chain of churches, okay? You don't like what they're doing because the hierarchy's out of control and you don't like what they're saying.
Right.
Well, we're going to take a bunch of the members and we're going to go off and we're going to start another church. Now, they start a new hierarchy and they come down on their own. So they branch off from there. That's exactly how come you got 1,001 religions in the world. Which one is right? Which one will get you to heaven? Every one of them?
So which one will
Remember
help
one thing.
us get our?
Remember
Yeah.
remember one thing. Remember one thing. One thing is all you got to remember. One thing. When you die, are you going to hold Jeff's hand and say, "Come on, man, come with me. I'm scared." You're going to die by yourself, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's right. Now let me
That's
ask you
right.
this question:
So now,
which church do you recommend we touch bases with to help us get our children back from CPS?
see, now that's a good question.
I can
Because
guarantee it's not a Methodist church. I can guarantee it's not a Baptist church.
I'll guarantee that because most of the churches will look you in the face and speak out their hind end.
Here's what happened to me. True story. When I was having my protest, it was during the George Floyd bullshit. And people were destroying people's shit, going on their property. And so I tried to go to the churches to ask them that if I could get people from the church to help me protest because I don't want people violating other people's rights. I don't want people putting their hands on other people or destroying their property. I was told, you can talk to the people, but not on my property. You got to stand out on the sidewalk. Well, 10 people came out, and I started trying to talk to them, ask them if they'd help. And I wasn't getting anywhere. So I asked them a very simple question. Y'all Christians? They said yes. So what's it mean to you to be a Christian? 9 of them had absolutely no answer. So I explained to them what I feel like being a Christian means. That's doing something good for somebody else, trying to help somebody else. Standing up for what's right, not for what's wrong. Not turning your back on something that you can see is wrong. They all got in their cars and left. There's one lady, she said, well, I'm probably not going to be much help to you, but I'll give you my answer. She said, I'm new at this church stuff. I've only been coming here like 3 months now. She said, but I can tell you, by my view, there's a church full of a bunch of hypocrites. They will tell you one thing and then be at the bar the next hour drinking.
What
She
did
said,
I
I
just
don't
say?
trust any of them people inside that church.
What did I
I'm like,
just say, Herbert?
I don't trust them neither.
They'll look you straight in the face and speak out their hind end. That's exactly what most people will at a church. Period.
No, I'm not saying what most people will do. What I'm saying is what I actually asked 10 people, and 9 of them had absolutely no response.
Right.
Did not have a clue what it meant to them to be a Christian. So when the preacher man came out, I explained to him what happened. He's like, yeah, shit. I knew I had a lot of work ahead of me, but I did not realize I had that much work. I don't know if he's ever changed anything, but you know, it's a true, actual what happened to me.
So getting back to the law and CPS, you're running for sheriff. What do you want to do? How would you do it? What changes would you make so that CPS will adhere to helping reunify the families?
What I want to do is you can't get the local village officers to investigate anything there. You cannot get the county, you cannot get the state, and you cannot get the FBI. So if I win, my plan is I'm going to deputize a couple officers that were ex-officers. They're no longer certified by the state. I'm going to deputize a couple doctors, maybe a couple therapists, to where they will go and get the truth. CPS will not be able to get local PDs to go help them kidnap somebody's children. I will make it plain and clear to the judge. You are violating people's constitutional rights. Have special trained officers. They will go do an investigation. And if they find nothing wrong, you will not take these kids. Then if somebody has a complaint and they can actually show the evidence where a caseworker has violated something or the court, I want my special trained deputies to be able to investigate it to find out the truth. And then if he can prove that the court had violated something or a caseworker or a prosecutor, it is to go to the Michigan Attorney General and see about getting charges
Okay.
brought up.
Okay. Now I'm gonna.
Now, you were a state officer, right?
Now I understand, but now I'm gonna put something to you. You're gonna take over the sheriff's position. Let's just say you won the election, you're taking over. Okay? You're gonna have a couple of deputies that are trained as psychoanalysts or psychiatrists or whatever the case might be.
Now, I'm going to have my attorney train these officers to where they understand what trauma is. Trauma is not, well, my parents get in an argument. Trauma is not, my parents got mad and took my phone away from me. That's not trauma. That is absolutely no reason to take a kid. In Michigan, you are allowed to whip a kid's butt. So if you just whip that kid's butt, that is no legal right of CPS to come take your child. Now, if you beat the snot out of that kid, you broke an arm, you gave him some bruised ribs or broken ribs,
that's a
whole different story.
That's right.
But
now,
my special trained officers will not allow them to just come and kidnap kids because they don't like these people.
Jeff, I agree with you. However, you cannot take a person like Herbert or myself or Darren off of the street because he wants to be a cop. He's got criminal justice training. He's got the wherewithal to be a deputy. Okay? You bring him in, you cannot teach that person what he needs to have without a shadow of a doubt because he can't think fast enough on his feet to handle it.
That's why I said I want to get at least 2 good attorneys, some therapists, doctors, actual medical doctors with license. Then
and you're going to deputize them?
I'll deputize. I've already talked to my attorney, and he said he might go for something like that. I talked to my personal doctor, and he said, nah, that's not something I want to get into. But it doesn't mean that there's not another doctor out there that won't want to get into it to actually help protect children.
The problem is, Jeff, is you're going to ask somebody that can make $190,000 to $250,000 a year to make $50,000 or $60,000.
No, you're not understanding. I don't think if you're deputized that you're making a whole lot of money anyhow. So you got a regular job. I mean, I don't even know what the elected sheriff. Sheriff might only make $50,000. I don't know how much it makes, but they'll have a regular job.
But how can you have a regular job as a doctor? And I'm just playing devil's advocate here, Jeff. I'm not against you because I understand what you're wanting to do, and I appreciate that. But at the same time, I'm looking at it from a reality type of standpoint of view, where if you take a doctor that has all of the training, which is what you're asking them to have, because of the
I'm
fact
not.
they
No.
can't.
You're thinking I'm talking about having doctors go out in to somebody's house every time CPS wants to go bother somebody. That's not what I'm talking about. My special trained officers, they will take reports. If there is a weird looking little bruise, they'll take pictures. That can go to the doctor. The doctor doesn't have to go there and do an investigation. Information can go to a doctor. He can be
And you're not,
doing his own.
then
He can
what
be
you're
doing his own
doing,
work.
okay, then what you're saying is you're saying it wrong. You can't deputize them and bring them in. What you're saying is that you are putting them on the county payroll to help you with an investigation.
No, I'm saying I'll deputize them if I can. That way, they are legal deputies of that county.
You're saying the same thing, guys.
I'm just
You're saying
not
the same
saying,
thing.
yeah, basically. But I'm calling it a deputy, not just a doctor that's an employee. Because I don't want nobody to be beholden to CPS. If you're
CPS
that way,
owns
you're
CPS owns most of the police departments right now.
that's why they won't get to use any local police. They won't get to use just any county officer that they want. It has to be one that has been trained to understand trauma is
You're
not
not gonna.
parents are arguing. Trauma is
You're
my parents threaten to kill me, and I actually believe they will. That's
okay.
true trauma.
Understood, but you can't. I understand where you're going with that as far as deputizing them so that they are what you're going to call bona fide uh, uh, advisors, if you will.
Basically, what they will also do, because like the elected prosecutor, he's a delegate also, and I asked him in there one day, who do you go to make a complaint to about prosecutors and police and judges in Cass County? He goes, oh, we're so small, we just don't have that. So that's also part of the job that I want my special deputies to have, is to investigate these corrupt officials and to take it to the Michigan Attorney General when you plainly see where they have violated people's rights, done, kidnapped kids. I mean, they don't like to call it kidnapping, but that's what I like to call it. And see about getting them indicted.
Oh no, back up a minute. It's not kidnapping?
But they don't like to call it that.
Well, no, they're not going to call it that. They're never going to call it that.
That's
Isn't
just
it
what I like
legalized?
to call it.
It's not. People that have been involved in human trafficking for years, and I'm one of them, that has investigated human trafficking. Now, do I call it kidnapping? No. Do I call it human trafficking? No. Is it legalized kidnapping or legalized human trafficking? Yes. There's a difference.
There is a difference because if
It's
somebody
not
was
on the
walking down the
criminal.
street,
Am I
if somebody
am
was
I
walking
right?
down the street and
Am I
tried to
right,
kidnap my
Herman?
daughter, and
Herbert,
so I
am
run
I right?
outside and I blow their brains out, that's legal. But if a judge illegally takes your kid, you cannot go back over there and blow the judge's brains out. That's not illegal. But if somebody is walking down the street and does it, it's legal to kill them. So, yeah, there's one that's illegal and there's one that's legal. Because it's a judge
And it's a
and
gray
it's a
line.
state, it's legal.
It's a gray line. It's a gray line there. That's what it is. And that's exactly what CPS is walking, is the gray line. If it was 100% illegal, CPS couldn't do it. Period. They couldn't do it. And Herbert is correct in how he looks at it. Because of the fact is, how can Herbert look at it to the point of he's got somebody that CPS has taken, or knows somebody, or a relative, or whatever the case might be, okay? However, he's an ex-cop, so he knows what he can do and how far he can go.
That's why I want to deputize some good ex-cops. I just do not want them to be state certified. I don't want these special officers
The problem
out
is
pulling people over and giving them tickets.
You can't do it. You
You
can't
can.
do it.
You can. I can
Tell me, how are
deputize
you going to do? How
I
are
can
you going to deputize?
I can
How are you going to
deputize the whole
deputize?
county. I can
Okay.
deputize
Now,
everybody that's 21 in the whole county.
no, you can't.
You can.
Legally, you cannot.
Legally,
They
you
have
can
to file.
deputize everybody in the whole county. You can.
Deputize the world, guys. Deputize them all.
Now, legally, they can't. There is a certain standard that every state has that it's MCOLs here in Michigan. It's whatever, and they got to follow the MCOLs laws, rules, and regulations. You can't hire.
You can even start a militia and deputize.
Yes, you
Well,
can.
wait a minute,
You're right.
whoa.
You're correct.
Hold on. Jeff, that's one of the jobs of the sheriff, is to keep the local militia up and in force. What's your answer to that?
I believe in a militia. I believe in constitutional carry.
But see, the constitutional, Darren, you got to look at it this way. If he could deputize everybody, okay, he can. That's something he's got to follow X number of rules. The sheriff in Lapeer County was a sheriff. Sheriff K was there for 30 freaking years, and he ran it his own way and got his butt in a sling so bad it was not even funny, where he lost an election because of it. But he overstepped the boundary finally. But if he wanted you to have an AK-47 and not give it to Darren because Darren spit on the sidewalks, got a misdemeanor, he can't have a AK-47, but you can. And the sheriff will sign it to you because you're a friend of the sheriff's. No, that's wrong. That's why MCOLS is in place in order to do it. So you got to have.
I don't believe that the Constitution says anywhere that if you're a convicted felon, that you lose your hunting privileges and the right to protect yourself.
You're absolutely correct in that. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
You are absolutely correct.
They take it from you.
But
they take your guns from
you. No, it is a case of the state government putting it into law.
But
That's what it is. Well,
but
what do you
if it's
think? I mean,
unconstitutional, then the sheriff does not have to abide by it.
This is correct too.
okay, okay.
So the sheriff
But
could tell the governor to go suck on a big old whatever you want to call it because it's unconstitutional. If there's
okay,
10 people that's got a felony and they're out shooting turkeys,
tell that
then
to the gentleman. Tell that to the gentleman that was head of a militia in Lapeer County, and how come he spent 5 years in federal pen because of it?
the sheriff's job is to not arrest you for unconstitutional shit.
Didn't have to. The state came after him. Then the feds got involved because the state went to the feds, and the feds got involved, and they
And the
overrode the
sheriff has
sheriff.
that ability to tell the feds to get the fuck out.
They did. The sheriff did. And the
But
feds said, screw you, and put them in federal pen.
But we've been at this almost hour and a half, and I got
let's
some
wrap
stuff
it
I
up,
got to
guys.
take care of. So I'm going to have to get off here.
Words? Last words, John?
Huh?
You got last words for tonight?
Well, I mean, Jeff, I like what you're going to do in the county. Don't get me wrong. I'm solid in behind you, okay? I hope you win. Honestly, I do. Because I agree, we need to get back to the basics. We need to get back to the basics. We are so far out of whack, it isn't funny. And we have let CPS, due to the Title IV money coming into the state, we've let them continue to bully the people of the state. Now it's time that we put our force behind people that can regulate what's happening. And that's what we've got to look at. That's what we got to do. I commend you for doing that. I really do. I do. Okay?
Well, then,
I
do
do.
this. This is one way we can help the people in Michigan. And it's 27, it's Cass County plus 27 other counties. Look up James Anthony Henry and get it out there everywhere that you can get it about how he never had a license to be a doctor until, I believe it was like in 21. He finally got his LL. That stands for limited license.
How come a report has not been done to the state attorney general?
There has. He got the. If Darren can put that thing on there, you can see the Michigan Attorney General, where James Anthony Henry is stating he accepts responsibility for deceiving people into thinking he had a license. So,
and where is
he's already been brought up.
He's at Western Michigan
University
College now, right?
Yep, Western Michigan University. But I sent Darren the thing, and I highlighted it where it's real easy to find, where the man is saying he accepts responsibility for what he's done. Yep, right there it is.
Right. Okay.
But look him up and send it to any place that you possibly can.
I want a copy of that complete letter.
Yes, sir. I will send it to you. Make sure you get it. I will do that.
I think I've already.
If that's the case, he's accepted it, and the attorney general has done nothing.
They charged him $2,500.
Whoopee.
That's all they did.
What we can do is take the attorney general to court in federal court over that letter.
And it's got the attorney general's name on that piece of paper right there.
Which one is it?
I don't know. But his
What?
name is on that.
What's
I
the
believe
name
I
of
sent you. I believe I sent you all the paperwork
Yeah,
between Colorado and Michigan Attorney General. I believe I've already sent that to you once.
yeah,
See,
yeah.
I want that. I want that letter. I
Yeah,
want.
I'll unload,
If he's got one for Colorado too, I want it.
I believe
yeah,
I've sent them both to you.
I'll unload all that stuff for you, John.
But I got to get off here.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
You're out.
Jeff.
Uh,
You have a good night.
thank you, Jeff. Thanks, Jeff, for
Herbert,
coming on.
nice seeing you again.
Night. Bye.
Yep.
Y'all have a good.
Herbert, what's your last words, buddy?
My last words is to tell the people to learn as much as they can about the ins and outs of CPS and try to avoid being on their radar.
Exactly.
That's it. That's the best. That's the best.
Exactly.
Stay out of the reach of CPS. Don't even peek out for a minute. You know.
Oh, I said CPR. I said CPR. I meant to say CPS. I'm sorry. Yeah, stay out of the radar. Stay out of the reach of CPS.
Amazing pre-made templates you can just choose from.
Nah, I'm a custom-made kind of gal. I
All
work
right,
with a lot of vendors.
guys. Thank you guys very much for tonight. It was a good talk. Jeff's gonna get up there, gonna get his things done. But hey, I'm done tonight too. I'm tired. I'm beat. I've had a rough day. I'm a CPS Punisher. We're all out of here. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for joining us.
The world getting crazy, baby, chill. Don't medicate, just meditate. You waking up now, well, baby, you hella late. Educate, look at what's going on, let it resonate, accelerate. Never ate, agenda is to push the hate. Separate and segregate, don't celebrate quite yet. The storm is coming, Q, for heaven's sake. Violence that they demonstrate, instigate and penetrate. The values of our country and our God is what they desecrate. My fighters ain't no featherweight, pulling out the seams of the fabric that they fabricate. They feed us lies, manipulate, intimidate through fear and force, forcing us to sit and wait till we come together, congregate, and then we liberate. Praying that you give me strength to find some love amongst the hate. Marching on these streets of blood till I see the golden gates. Troubadour and troubled souls, one of God's servants. Blades out, cut the grass till we see the serpents.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now.
I know the truth is hard to swallow, just digest it. Suspected something's going on, but chose to just neglect it. Deflected by some breaking news, oh, we just accept it. Expected just to fall in line and follow their perspective. Don't question their objective, but I got a lot of questions. How these kids molested, but nobody's been arrested. Read it in the testament, these children are protected. So I'm fighting all these terrorists, both foreign and domestic. Refuse to be directed, lying not a sheep. Only kneel to my God, so I'm dying on my feet. Silence when we speak, but there's violence in the street. I've been rolling with the punches, I can't take it on the cheek. Drink from a glass half full, I'm optimistic. People are sadistic, so vicious and malicious. Praying for assistance to overcome opposition, or I'm gonna start resisting and then I'll pray for forgiveness.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show stays on because of you.